Wee! Hey everyone, Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. I got a good one from Colton. Colton, I really appreciate the question. I cannot tell you guys how much dearly I appreciate the questions because I know there's so many of you guys out there that are looking for advice, that are gonna get into it or in it, or even seasoned vets. We watch each other's videos, we comment on each other's videos, and it's just, you're always learning little nuggets, and it's just wonderful. And I love teaching you guys because, let's just say, Uncle Dave made a lot of mistakes. I don't want you to make the mistakes. So learn from me. So Colton says, hey Dave, been watching the videos, like your content, which I really appreciate. I'm interested in getting into industry, but need some education and training. All right, and this is where it gets kind of juicy. I like this. Is it worth paying the $750 to International Door Association? So that's one thing we'll address. To be a member or pay the due. $1,500 to take the online course. Any feedback would be great. Thank you. This is a great question. So here's what I think. There's a couple things. The International Door Association, I'm not against. I'm not out here to be a hater. But one thing I have learned over the years is that there's a lot of people out here in the world that want to get in your pockets. And I tell you what, once you give them a credit card and you subscribe to something or you get onto a course or something, they got access. You might have to write them a letter. You might have to cancel a card. I mean, so what I'm trying to say is, when I see a lot of guys, I see this with some young guys that I work with, you know, it's, to me, is get that phone to ring. Worry about, you're gonna learn so much just by doing. There is so many people in this world that the fear of just doing something is what stops them. Just a thought, you know, oh, it ain't gonna work. I can't do that. I don't know what I'm doing. It's gonna sound goofy, I'm not. So what? You know, there's so many times I've done things, let's say on Facebook Marketplace, and you start learning the algorithm. You start learning how the people interact. You know, next time, you know, hey, they're not gonna meet at the house or meet at your shop. We're gonna meet in a disclosed or undisclosed location here because they don't show up on time. They show up in the middle of the night now. You know, people are so weird, it's just crazy. So, do I think the $750 is worth it? Not right now. And the reason being is because I was in your shoes and I used to think the same thing. I used to think, oh, if I get this, I'm more credible. You know, I'm more credible. And I cannot tell you, I mean, I'm gonna tell you some stories. When we did the Lowe's, and even when we did our own, we started out with I wish I had pictures of it. We started out with well, I had an old van I revamped, put too much money into it, way too much money into an old van, repainted, Bondo, stickers, cabinets, bins, ladder rack, way too much money. And then we needed another vehicle. So then we started out, I think it was a 2000 Chevy Silverado 1500. Extended cab, short box, tan in color, the pewter, I think they call it pewter in color. That was my business partner. And I remember when we go to these jobs, I could not believe how many times we go to Lowe's jobs. And I could not fathom that the customers would never say to us, well, hey, who are you? I hired Lowe's. I thought you guys were gonna show up in a vest, and I thought you guys were gonna show up in a Lowe's box truck. Geez, this doesn't look too professional. And it was like, I just couldn't believe how many people didn't give a rat's butt. It was all about, just fix my damn door. That's what it was. Are you here? Do you got the right stuff to fix my door? Fix my damn door. I want to get my car out because I want to go get my coffee. You know what I mean? I'm hyping this up a little bit. But it just blew my mind. People didn't care. You know what I mean? The biggest thing was when they called, and this is a key thing for you guys out there. I'm telling you, if you advertise it all, you got to get, what I would do is get another phone number, you know, even if it's a flip phone. You can get a smartphone. I probably should do a smartphone of some sort, a real cheap phone. Just do the cheap of the cheap, right? You're just starting out. Just do cheap, cheap, cheap. Don't give that $750 to anybody. Get a phone. Get another phone. Think about that phone. Think about you might want to go to a carrier. Maybe you want to get a special number. Maybe a number that kind of like we got lucky. Ours is 8200 for the last 4 of it. So it's a 8200. It's a nice, but I got that because back in the day, I worked with a phone company. Now, I think the cell phone companies could technically do it if you ask them and you kind of work, or say, how can I get this? So you could get a phone number that you like. Because you got to think about the future. Think about the future. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years away. I wasn't doing that. So I get a phone. You start advertising. Do it on Facebook. Put signs out. Put banners, things up on light poles, whatever you call them, telephone poles. Put them out where you're working. Have business cards. Business cards are important when you're first starting out. They are. I don't carry business cards hardly anymore, but they're important. And so just get that phone to ring. And when that phone rings, and if you got the opportunity, answer that thing. If not, leave a voicemail. Explain to them, say, hey, the way I've always presented it is I'd always tell them something of, hi, you've reached whoever, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I'm either probably with a customer or away from the phone at the moment. Please leave me a message. I'll call you back as soon as possible. Something of that line to explain to them that you're kind of busy at the moment. That goes a long ways. Instead of just going, hi, you've reached garage door, whoever, leave a message after the tone. Hey, are you there? It's me again, cutting in, editing this video. And what I wanted to tell you about the phone can go so many different ways. But one thing that also helped me on voicemails, if you don't have the opportunity because you might have another job, you might, there's just life. Life is busy. What you can do, which is also a good thing that gives people confidence, is on your voicemail. I learned this from a banker. Is leave every day. It sucks, right? It sucks. It's hard, but life is hard. Go in your phone and put on there when you leave your voicemail. Change it every day. Every day. Maybe even on the weekends. You just turn it to a neutral one, right? But you can change it and say, hi, you've reached X Garage Door Company. I'm currently in the office today, which is Friday, October 2nd. Well, yeah, close enough. I'm away from the phone at the moment. I'm either helping a customer or on the other line at the moment. Please leave me a message with a brief message and a name or whatever. You know what I'm saying. I'd try to say it for you. If you guys ever want, I can give you the full length of an ad like that if you really want it. Because I got it down pretty good. I have to do it like 3 or 4 times, 6 times maybe. But what I'm telling you is that gives confidence in that customer, because when they hear that and they go, oh yeah, today is Friday. Well, they're open, he's available, he's there. But you can take that and you can capture that customer, and you did everything possible to possibly get that customer to leave you a voicemail and say, hey, yeah, I got a situation, and they feel confident and they might not keep calling. They might, sometimes they do, but just a little nugget for you. You know what I mean? People are so emotional, right? And they need direction. I can't believe how many people need direction. You know what I mean? I mean, go into a store, right? I mean, all you got to do is have your shoulders up and walk around, right? And people are like, whoa, who are you? Smile. Just walk around. It's an attitude. It's a persona. It's so easy, but so many people just, shoulders down. I mean, how many people see that in their life? You think that's somebody you want to be around? You think that's really somebody you want to ask? I mean, you see associates work at these places, Home Depot, Lowe's, right? And right, when you come around the corner, that guy putting parts on the thing, I'll go to somebody else. Ask him, this guy don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But that guy doesn't even understand that his persona, for me, I got businesses, buddy. I might hire you. I might give you a better opportunity. See, everybody's watching you. It's like acting. It's like Hollywood. You know what I mean? People are watching you. Perk them up. How you doing today? I mean, I had a girl, example, that worked at a restaurant. I was going to hire her because she went around and talked to the customers, and she would make sure that wasn't even her job. She could sit behind the desk and she could just, give them their orders. But she'd come out and how's it going? Do you need more coffee? You doing good? And I thought, wow, she is going above and beyond. And I was gonna, but she was gonna take over the business actually from the other owner, smart guy. And so I thought, she's taken. But anywho, so now we got the 1500. I think you're referring to, I could be wrong. I've been coming across this dude. I don't know about this character. I'd love to see some people comment that either have taken his course or his class. Things seem a little bit too good to be true. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not gonna chew them up yet. I don't know enough about them. But we have the Garage Door Training School. I've watched a few of this guy. He's a little bit kind of hard for me to watch. But I don't know. And so it's not that it's a bad thing. See, I looked at it like this. Every time I go to do something, it's like sometimes you learn little chunks, right? You sit there and everything's kind of like making a soup, right? You got the broth, you got whatever, you got the water. You know, that's just always the basics, right? So you're always like looking at something and you're like, okay, yeah, yep, you got to stack the door from the bottom. You don't stack it from the top. You know, okay, garage door springs, you got to slide off. But then there's like that little twist of things that you learn, right? Oh, instead of using screwdrivers, I use winding bars. They fit. They're more safe. They're correct. But, you know, the best thing that happened to me at one point is when we hit that recession of the '08 stuff, was that it forced me to go out by myself. And I was never the electrician guy. And the fact that I had to go out and I just had to do it. I just had to do it. And I didn't know electrical at all. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cross the wires. And there's so many things that you can do that people will pay you for. And I think you just have to go out there and like, just let them understand and go slow. Leave time. Time is the biggest thing. Leave time that if you're there and you got a smartphone, you know, if you run into something, you darn near can jump on the smartphone and probably Google it or YouTube it, YouTube University, and you could probably figure it out. Now, some of you guys know, as I interact with you guys, I do hand out my phone number and I let you guys interact with me. Josh is one of them. He's a great dude. He's out there. I mean, Josh is doing it from is a Chevy Spark? I think it's a Chevy Spark. I mean, my hat's off to you, sir. That's awesome, man. That's called hustling. That's called grinding. I mean, he's making do with what he's got. You know, keep it low, keep it as a side hustle. And he's doing commercial doors. He's making it work. I think he was doing like 12 by 14s with commercial openers. So somehow he got them delivered there. You know, either the customer or the vendor, or, there's just so many things when your mind is so powerful, so powerful. All you have to do is look outside. Here's an example. I had a guy, I remember he had to go a little ways away, probably about an hour and a half-ish away from the shop. And I was slammed, man. I mean, I'm just putting out fires. I'm doing this service call. I'm doing this. I got guys just running everywhere. And I remember thinking to myself, I know he's going to run out of concrete. He was doing a gate job. And I said, I know he's going to run out of concrete. And I know he's going to call me and he's going to go, hey, I got a problem. I know you do. And I guarantee everything I give you, you're going to manifest this, right? I can't ask you to go get the concrete because you're going to tell me you got no money. You know what I mean? Because that's how it always is. I got no money. Well, I just paid you even yesterday. I ain't got no money. I'll pay you back. I've never not paid you. I ain't got no money. I mean, they'll never find a solution, right? And so I thought, oh my gosh, I gotta go out there and bring him concrete. And concrete's heavy, right? The bags of concrete, everything. I gotta bring him whatever, 4, 6, 8 bags or whatever it is. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, I went, you know what? Why don't I call Home Depot? And they have this thing called like will call, right? I can call them. They're actually gonna bring the concrete up to the front of the store possibly. I'm gonna pay for it. All he's gotta do is walk in there and he's gotta get the concrete. Oh my gosh. I'm using other resources. I'm using other people. I don't have to drive out there. I don't have to go get it for him. And he can keep working. And he's helping the business and he's making himself a paycheck. Wow. So what I did is I called out there and guess what? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour later, I get that phone call from him. Hey, you know what I mean? And it's like that. Hey, I'm out of concrete. So can I be done for the day? I only came out here and worked for 30 minutes, but now can I be done for the day? And it's like, I'm like, hey, guess what? You know Home Depot is like 10 minutes down the road? Yeah. I mean, he's just like priming, right? He's just priming. And it's like, he's like, yeah. I go, well, go down there. I said, there's concrete waiting for you. I mean, it's like a robot. I don't know what to do. You know, like looking for something. Oh, well, no, 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 no. You can go down there. They'll even help you load it. So if you don't even give me like, oh, I got a bad arm today. No, 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 no. They'll help you load it. Just wait. Just wait around. They'll help you load it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, you just have to think outside the box. When I first started, I was just like you, and I thought I had to control everything. And it's one of those things. That's why sometimes the garage door business can be a little tricky, because it can be like almost like kind of like a death spiral, a vortex. I always call it a vortex. And all of a sudden you sit there and you start thinking, oh, I got to get a truck. Oh, I got to get a bigger truck. I got to get a trailer. And then I got to get a bigger trailer. No, I got to get a scissor lift. I got to get 2 scissor lifts. And all of a sudden you realize one day you're going, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this stuff. I can't keep up. The scissor lift's breaking. The truck needs tires. And you just start going insane. And if the employees that work out in the field can be like life and death. They can just eat you up, even yourself. Because the problem was in the business, I can sell this stuff. I can sell $1 million. I've done it. I've done over $1 million in sales. I can do it easily. That's not the problem. The problem is making profit. The problem is just not running around and not making no money. So if you... All right, another thing. The problem is you can sell it, but the problem is, can you deliver it? And sometimes, God bless the workers. You know what I mean? People that work for me now, amazing people. Back then, we've had some quirks. There's always a bad apple in the bunch, right? I mean, that's just how stuff goes. But it was like, you can sell it, but can you deliver on it? That's the problem. And every time I'd start building that thing up, I'd find out that somebody would start letting me down. I'm sick. Another guy would get sick. Somebody get in a car accident. Somebody get hurt, be off for extended amount of time. Holidays would come in. So it's not that it can't be done, but sometimes you almost need to either have so much profit on that darn thing, which most time isn't there, that you can hire an extra person almost just to be there, that they're really not needed, but they're there for the other person that's not going to be there because they're sick or they have an issue or whatever. That can be really tricky, real tricky. Just something to think about. So if you slow down and you say, well, look, I don't really know what I'm doing with this, but I'd be happy, right? Because I look at it like this. College isn't free. There's so many people out there blowing all this money and jumping from this career to that career. My ex did it. I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to be a veterinarian. I'm going to be a teacher. $30,000 back in the day with me. $30,000. That she went. I was a co-signer. And I don't think she uses any of them. So what I'm trying to say is, the hard part is getting the customer, right? Get the customer and say, I would love to do this job. Even if you do it for free. And let them know. Say, hey, I'm going to do this one for free. I'll do it for free for you. Just let me do it. You know what I mean? And you're going to learn. And you're going to see, and you're going to do, and you're going to feel. See, it's all muscle memory. That's what it's like. It's like anywhere you've worked, or even school, or exercising, right? It's all memory, right? You remember, like every time you curl that weight, you know what it's going to feel when you pick it up the next time. But you grab the next one, ooh, that's a little heavier. That's a little heavier. You know what I mean? So you're exercising your brain that every time, oh, I know what these openers are going to weigh. They were really heavy, commercial openers. I need a helper next time, or I need a scissor lift, or use the scissor lift. I can do openers all day by myself because I use the scissor lift. It's all about leverage. Once you start learning leverage and you slow down and you look at things and you got rope or ratchet straps, you can do about darn near anything if you got a piece of hydraulic, scissor lift, forklift, all these things. You know what I mean? There's so much that you can do. It's amazing. But you just have to slow down. And then sometimes you got to know when you got to throw the hat in and say, I got to ask for help. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can ask the homeowner. Sometimes you can ask somebody working at a shop. You know what I mean? But the problem is, if you don't have the time, because all of a sudden, I ran into that a million times where I don't have the time. I got to get this. I got to get to the next one. I got to get to the next one. And the problem is if you don't take the time and do it right, it'll bite you. Maybe you should have put 2 screws in there and you only put 1. Well, I didn't have time. You need to make time. You know what I mean? And you need to do a good job. And you need to find the customers that'll pay you. So don't be afraid. Do stuff. Do it for cheap. Say, look, I just need to cover my gas. I need to make $20. Pay me $20, $40. I'll install that garage door opener for you. You can put that even on the interweb. Because there's somebody out there, me included, that is looking for a young entrepreneur. And we understand it because we've been in the business. All it takes is 1, 2, 3 that turns into hundreds of customers. So don't be afraid. I would not worry about so much of the, you got to understand that you're going to go there and they're going to snag your money right away. Right before you even walk in that door. Go, give me your money. Oh. Yeah. Okay, we'll teach it. Just remember, if you don't like it, there's no refund. There's no warranty with this. You know what I mean? You're going to pay every month too, right? Because we got to get you, in subscription here because we get this customer and this customer and this customer. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the whole International Door Association. I ain't got nothing against them. I think there's stuff you can go there and learn, but I've been to a few. It's okay. It's cool to see the newest and greatest, but the worst part about a lot of that stuff is they're not going to tell you the truth. That they say, yeah, we got this. So with the International Door Association, you can learn stuff. There's not that. But what I'm trying to get my point across here is, just because you're associated, don't. This is my opinion. Please, it's my opinion. I've never had anybody out of the 16 plus years. What am I at? 08, 06 when I started. I've never had anybody go, I went onto your website or I went onto the International Door Association and I seen that you're a member. And that's why I hired you. No. I get them because I either answer the phone. I used to advertise same-day service. I could get there in a timely manner, or the price. I want to tell you something. Some people might not know this. I'm not 100% that I even know this, but I've had experience this. The Better Business Bureau, the BBB, whatever, Better Business Bureau, is kind of a joke. I've had them call me and, they want you to be on there, right? And I totally believed. I get on there, people are going to believe, they're going to look for me on there. That stuff is so outdated. And I never had anybody. I've had people say they're going to go on there and maybe do something, but they never did. But what was funny about it is I'm telling you, now you guys email me or let me know comments. I've had it where they threaten me that if I don't pay them, oh, well, your score. And I'm like, whoa. What do you mean my score? I thought this was organic. I thought this was customer based. I thought this was real. And it's not. It's not what you think it is. It's kind of like Angie's List. It's kind of like Home Advisor. These things aren't what you think they are. They take your money. They do whatever they want. They'll send you crappy leads. They're fake. They say they're going to put and do all this stuff for you that you have no clue, right? I mean, you can't even keep up. You're like, I don't even know where this stuff, what are they doing? All I know is they're sending me bills. I'm not getting that many jobs. What's going on here? Well, Better Business Bureau was like that for us. But I didn't like that they told me, they're like, well, basically if you don't do it, we're not going to. So I just because you're certified or this, a lot of people don't care. Just come out and fix the darn thing. That's all they care about. You know what I mean? Just come out and fix it. Fix it. Now, maybe fire doors or something like that or bigger stuff, got to be this or that. You got to use your brain, But most of the stuff, as long as you fix it, they write you a check. The check don't bounce. Life is good. It's a new product, and it's got bugs in it. See, one thing, take it from me, I learned from an old guy, right? You always want to buy the last year a car was made. The last year. Because then you have all that time, right? If the car's been in production for 10 years and they built it, sometimes towards the end, they've made them better even, because they knew they had some problems, engine problems, transmission problems. But now you got that 10 years or 3 years or 5 years or 8 years, whatever it is, to also do the research on that car, right? That's always the same, right? Go in a junkyard and see how many cars there is. If there's a lot of a certain car, you probably don't want that car. They're in there for, most of them have bad transmissions. But if you see other cars that aren't, there's hardly any in there, maybe Toyotas, Nissans, whatever they are, Hondas, maybe that's probably a decent car. See, a lot of people don't want to take the time and do the research. And the research, I'm telling you, young guys, you guys have it made. All this stuff was not available. Me, I wasn't available. Other people out there were not available. I'd have to go there and squeeze the vendors, or I'd have to go squeeze at tech seminars, or I'd have to, and they still wouldn't even give you sometimes the best juice. You know what I mean? You kind of squeeze them, and it's like, try this one. That one's not a little better, but not. You know what I mean? And all you got to do is you can go online. You got all this information nowadays at your fingertips for free. All you got to do, hey, maybe not spend so much time playing video games at night. Jump on the old interweb. Maybe on a weekend, block out a couple hours. It's free. It's free. I'm free. You know what I mean? And I'm here to help you guys. I really am. And I want you to learn. So, Colton, I wouldn't worry about that so much as right now. It's something down the road if you got customers and maybe you want to learn the newest and greatest things. But for the most part, you just got basic stuff and people just want their stuff fixed and they want it done in a timely manner. And you'll learn. You learn every time you do something. That's how I learned. I never had no training. I learned a lot of it from my business partner that he had the experience, and then I took off with it. Oh, this doesn't work. We got a problem. Well, there's a problem. Okay, this problem's happened 3 or 4 or 6 times. I'm sick of this problem. How do we fix this problem? Oh, let's do this. Can we afford this? It's just taking baby steps. Don't go too big for your britches because you can go into debt, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, and you're always a servant to the lender. So the economy goes bad, guess what? You got to still pay. So just stay small and keep it all. So that's my 2 cents. Colton, like I said, you guys can always email me. Try not to contact the business. Don't email anything else other than the one I use now, which is the Daveadubson at Gmail, which I always put it in the description below. That's the best way. I apologize. Sometimes sometimes it can happen in a couple days. It can be 2 weeks. It can be 3 weeks. Sometimes I see them. Sometimes I don't always reply to them. I'll make a video. So you got to keep, really, if you want to stay in touch with me, you got to keep in tune with the videos, ask the question, and watch the next video because I'll probably mention you in the video. I know Sean is one of them. He reaches out to me all the time, and I never reply to him because he's got really lengthy emails. And the thing is, I'm going to tell you a secret. The secret is Uncle Dave is horrible at spelling. That's why I'm not an attorney or anything like that because I'm horrible. But one thing I'm good at? I'm good at being honest, being loyal, being trustworthy, closing the deal, shaking somebody's hand, look them in the eyes and say, look, I'm going to get this done for you at whatever cost. I don't care if it's going to be 5 o'clock tonight, at midnight, Saturday, Sunday. I want this job. I'm going to get it done for you. I'm going to take care of you. If you have any warranty issues, I'm going to still be here. I'm not going to bow out. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work out, guess what? I'm darn near going to give you your money back or go above and beyond. That's just the kind of person I am because I don't need, look, I look at it like this. I don't need the money. I like the money. Trust me, everybody likes money, right? But I don't need to run around like a chicken with my head cut off to serve these certain small things because I've learned too much. And if you get that customer, that's the low bid and all that, it'll come back to bite you. I still get bit. I'm still not perfect. I'm way from imperfect or perfect. I got a lot of flaws, like us all, like all of us. So anywho, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Hope you learned something. And we'll see you hopefully on the next one. Take care, guys.